So today, guys, we're checking out the Alpha ST Magician electric bike. This is a 72-volt bike, and it has 2 batteries. That's why we have the second box right here. And this thing is claimed to do 50 miles an hour. So let's get this thing unboxed, put together. Let's check this thing out. And here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty simple bike to put together. It was probably slightly under an hour, maybe about 45, 50 minutes. I was, taking my time. I haven't installed the batteries yet. It's actually in a box over there. We'll check out in a second. They sent us the red one, which just stands out. It's kind of like a sports car or a sports bike, you should say. Very, very nice quality so far. I'm gonna say that right off the bat. So without further ado, let's go through that box really quick. Let's get these batteries installed and go over some of the parts so we can go out there and ride it. One thing that I thought funny was this was left in the box, and I bet you these are from the people that assemble these bikes, so someone is missing their tool. It's mine now. So before we go through the big box here, that's going to have our rear rack battery, our down tube battery, and it gives us 2 chargers inside, which is super nice. It does come with this small little box right here, and this is a spare rear derailleur hanger. So you get this in the box just in case you have an issue with your other one or break it. All right, so let's get my trusted knife out. Let's open this bad boy up. And a box inside of a box. I'll just take this out separately and then I'll show you what the batteries are. So our first battery that I unboxed, and it's also nice that it comes bubble wrapped and of course a box inside of a box. So this is very protected. You shouldn't worry about your batteries being damaged. You can see that it has S50 GB cells in here and it's 72 volt, 20 amp hours. This is gonna be for the down tube one, the one under the Magician logo right there. If you come over to the side of the battery, it says it's 1,440 watt hours. It gives you all the warning labels and everything. And you have a charging port right down here. I'm gonna get this one installed right now. I gotta say the battery is pretty heavy. Slams in just like that, and we got the key if we need to unlock it and take it out for any reason down the road. And once it is in, you do have a charging port right here on the side. Our second battery is 72 volt, 10 amp hours, same battery cells as the first one. And that's the one that's gonna go on the rear rack of this bike. And what was nice is when I unboxed this bike, the rear rack was already installed, so now we just have to slide this battery in there. But before we do that, there's a little bit more information. This is a 720 watt hour battery, and it has a warning label on the side right here that says if you leave the keys in this battery, that it is not locked. So make sure you take the keys out of this battery, or I'm assuming this battery will probably fly out because it's gonna be in the back of the bike. So maybe that happened to someone, so make sure you remove the key. Now, I'm not exactly sure if you need the key to get this thing installed. It looks like there's a railing system, so I gotta line that up. It feels like I'm on it right now. Oh yeah, so you do need the keys to unlock it first, but make sure you take those keys out because it won't slide all the way in. So we get our key, turn it to the unlock. There we go, now it popped in, put it to the locking position, and pull it out. I would definitely make sure this doesn't slide out. Now this battery has a charging port on the back of it right here. So if you need to charge it, it's right there. And if you guys were curious about this rear rack, it holds up to 50 kilograms, which means roughly about 110 pounds. So you probably don't want to push this thing really over 100 pounds just to keep it safe. Back to the box, you can see we got 2 chargers, which are super nice. Now let me take one out and let's see what the charging amps are. Now I'm glad to see this. It says, note, charger A/B compatible for charging both front and rear batteries. I'm glad they did not have 2 separate chargers for 2 different batteries, because I saw charger A and I was like, wait, is that gonna be for the down tube battery or the rear rack battery? But you can use either one. Now it looks like we get 3 amp chargers for this. Now I was hoping they were a little bit faster, so that means to charge the down tube battery, you're looking at about 7 hours, and to charge the rear rack battery, you're looking at about 3.5 hours. But keep in mind, it is still nice that they come with 2 chargers. You don't have to buy one separately, so at least you can charge them overnight and get ready for your morning ride or whatever you gotta do. So I went to turn the bike on right now and it wasn't turning on, and something that happens during shipment or if you leave your bike unattended for a long period of time, the batteries go into sleep mode. So what you have to do is you have to grab your charger and you actually have to plug it in to wake up the battery. Once you do that, you come over here, hit the power button right here. You hold it for about 3 to 4 seconds roughly. It does take a while. And it says magician right there. Let's get this taken off the screen so we can see that a lot better. You can see we're at 55%. Now I'm not sure if the back one is showing the battery or that's just overall 55%. You can see we have class 2 mode right here. But what's really cool about this bike is going into the settings. They give you so much to do and it's very nice laid out. I absolutely love this. Let's turn this down a little bit so you can see it better. You got your brightness at the top. You got your auto timer to turn off when you don't have any interaction with the bike. You have the clock, 12 hours, 24 hours. You can set the time, which right now it is 2:54. So I set that earlier. You got your modes, but it does come out of this if you don't hit any buttons for a while. So we'll have to make sure to keep tapping some stuff. You have different themes that you can do, but the coolest thing is you can come all the way down here to more, and you can see that we have so much information. There is so much stuff that you can look at and tune. The cool thing is you come in here, the speed limit, and you can change how fast you want each one to limit the percentage and all this kind of stuff. You could dial it into whatever you want. I think that's fantastic. And then the current limit percentage, this is set to 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100%. So that's gonna give us like our, it's gonna limit our speed, I believe, as we get up to, the highest mode. I just love the fact that you can customize this however you want. That's one of the nicest features about this bike. And personally, what I wanna do, because there are so many things to go over, we're not gonna go over all this stuff in here. I wanna go to US. Let's go to, we could do class 3, class 2, class 1, and we could do this one. I believe this is gonna give us our most power and speed possible. It should be just as easy as that. We'll return. You hold these 2 buttons up here. It should go back to the main menu. Now let's see how fast this thing is. It even says unlimited right here now. Check out how the screen looks when you go through the modes as well. So right now everything is off, no throttle will work, and then you can go up to eco, it's green, then you got tour, which is blue, you got sports, which is like a darker blue, and then you have sport plus, which is an orange. Then you have boost mode, which is kind of like a pinkish red. It's definitely more pink, but that's the highest you can go to is boost mode. And a cool hidden feature about this bike is that the throttle will not work if this button is popped out. So check this out. I'm pulling it and nothing's happening and we are in boost mode. So you have to push this down and then the motor will activate. And when the motor's activated, this thing at 55% is bringing us up to 52 miles an hour with no rider on it. Just think when I'm on it and it's fully charged, this thing is gonna jam. Yep, that thing's moving. Before I turn the bike off to talk about some other components on this bike, let's turn the headlight on and show you guys how that looks. When you do that, the screen does dim down. The headlight looks like this. Now in person, I'm getting blinded like crap. So hopefully that is a good light at night because it does look good during the day. And here is a look at the brake light in the back. Now I like that it's all the way in the far rear of the bike, and this bike is pretty tall, so people are going to see it. And when you hit the brake levers, it does get brighter. The motor we have on this bike, if you can see, it's from Bafang. This is a 3,000 watt motor, which peaks at 5,000 watts, and it has 200 Newton meters of torque. You can also see that we have 7 speeds of gears back here. So if you want to pedal this bike at high speeds, I don't think you're going to be pedaling this bike up to 50 miles an hour. So we'll see when ghost pedaling starts later in the video when we actually ride it. This bottom bracket down here is 120 millimeters. tires, and it's running a Bafang torque system. One cool thing about this setup though is you don't have to use it as a torque sensor. You can actually switch it to a cadence sensor as well. Now the controller you're not going to be able to see, but it's sitting right here. So if you need to access it, you're probably going to have to take this off. There's a few bolts around here. It's 60 amps and 18 MOSFETs. Going to the other side, you can actually access the controller easier if you just take these bolts off. You won't have to take everything off from the other side. In the rear of this bike, we have a D&M rear air shock. It's a 38 RC. You can see the air valve right there if it will focus in on it. And then you have that blue lever right there, which is going to lock out the suspension. And then underneath that, if you can even see it, you do have a rebound adjustment up there, but really hard to see. Our front suspension is an X-Show hydraulic fork with 120 millimeters of travel. You have a preload adjustment on the left-hand side and a lockout adjustment on the right side. One thing I love to see on bikes like this is a through axle. It makes it very easy to remove the front wheel. These tires are from Cool Ride. They have like a dual sport to them, and they go up to 100 kilometers per hour, which is roughly about 62 miles an hour. Now, if you can see the writing on there, it says anywhere from 5 to 30 PSI. I have these tires at 28. And both the front and rear are 26 by 4 inches wide. The brake rotors on this bike are 203. I gotta say, they look very small on this bike just because this tire is so massive. It looks like we have Star Union brakes. They're 4 piston. And here's how the levers work. Now, what's nice is when this bike is on and you're activating the motor, if you do tap the brakes for whatever reason, it does have cutouts on both sides. We have some 740 millimeter BMX style handlebars. Here is our Shimano shifter right here. Let's remove that so you can see that a little bit better. Got a Jag wire cable, quarter twist throttle with a nice rubber grip that locks in place on the right hand side, and a full grip on the left hand side that also locks in place. You get a Pro Max stem, a Bafang display with a Type-C charging port underneath. Now they do have a basket accessory that you can mount up to the front right here, so you could buy that separately on the website if you want that. I like that this bike has caps for the axles. It just kind of makes the bike look a little bit cleaner. You have an adjustable fake carbon fiber kickstand. It's nice because it's out of the way of the pedal, so it's not going to come in contact. These pedals are from Wellgo. You have a Class 2 750 watt 20 mile per hour sticker on the bike, but you know what this bike can do. We have a water bottle holder right here, or a bag holder, whatever you want to mount to fit right there. Up top, you have a memory foam seat. Now, it's kind of not on the biggest side, but it's also not on the smallest side, so I'm curious to see how this is going to feel when we go ride. It does feel pretty nice. Okay, so I have my phone in my hand, so I make sure to get these specs right for you. So this is me at 5'9", next to the bike at 155 pounds. It is a pretty big bike, I gotta say. This is with the seat almost at the lowest spot. I might lower it a little bit more just for me. I'll sit on it for a second. I should have gone on it a totally different way because this is a step-through design, which makes it easier. So this bike right now is 139 pounds with the batteries installed, but without the batteries installed, you're looking at 106 pounds. And you could be up to 450 pounds to ride this bike. So there you go. That's all the information you guys need to know. Let's go ride this thing. All right, guys, we are on the bike and we are ripping, man. This thing is fast. I am so surprised. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised at 72 volt, but wow, this thing definitely takes off. Now, we did start at 100%, but right now we're down to 99%. I am going to change this layout because I'm curious to see if I can see both batteries on this screen, because right now it just says 99% overall. All right, so here's how the other display looks. So it puts the battery over here, your trip really big right there, your eco mode goes up to the top, your mile per hour is right there. Oh, and it also has wattage right here on this one. I didn't see wattage on the other one unless I wasn't paying attention. So let's see real quick. Woo! Oh, cool. That orange line is a wattage. Oh, heck yeah. Looks like we're getting about 4,400 watts out of this thing. Let's check out what the other one looks like. Okay, so this one's not really my favorite. The battery percent, you know, I wonder if this green bar slightly goes down. That would be pretty nice, but I don't really like this one. I think we're gonna go back to the original one. And right now we do have 1.5 miles on this bike. My phone's a little bit behind because I did take this to the mailbox the other day. So I actually wanna go off of this, but I just want to use this for GPS verifying the speed. So you know the first thing we got to do, guys, we got to see the torque and the top speed of this thing with a full battery charge. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Woo! Dude, 25, 30 pretty much. Woo, man. 40. I actually think the mile per hour on the screen is more accurate than my phone because the phone takes a little bit to update. Dude, this thing is a monster. This thing is fast. And we got a lot of wind and we're doing 50 miles an hour. See if I tuck down just a little bit. The screen says about 51, 52, and my phone is saying about 50. So this is a solid 50 mile an hour e-bike. It's probably gonna go down in speed, obviously, when your battery goes down, but wow, does it get up to speed very quickly. That is impressive. So remember I told you guys I had these tires aired up to about 28 PSI. They say 30 is the max. I don't actually think I would go this high. I'd probably actually drop it to about maybe 22 or 24 because it does feel a bit bouncy. Let's show you guys the torque one more time. Here we go. Boost mode, we out of here. 20. Woo, actually my GPS is going faster than the screen now. Okay, there we go, the screen caught up. 40. Jeez, man, this bike hauls, dude. This is just, it's insane. There we go, there's 51. We're going down a slight hill. Wow, very impressive, man. That is a nice feeling, torquey, fast bike, man. Now, one thing to note on this bike, you don't get any turn signals. Not a big deal to me, but just note it doesn't have them. And after being on the seat, not very many miles, and I can already tell you, I'm not a big fan of the seat. It's not that comfortable to me. Everyone is kind of shaped different, so you might have a different feeling about the seat than me. But I'm gonna say I'm not a huge fan. But the nice thing about it is this bike has all the power you need, and changing a seat is one of the easiest things you could do on one of these bikes. You know, you're in the thing. You don't have to stop for me. You're in the, oh man, all right. I guess a lot of people are definitely gonna be blinded by this red paint right here. So they probably just got blinded, didn't know what to do. You know, overall, I'm seriously I'm so impressed with the power. I mean, even just kind of getting up the speed, just kind of playing with the throttle, not actually pulling it all the way back to 100%. It's just such a nice, like, get up to speed bike. I feel like you got enough power to get across the street, overtake cars if you need to, go around safely around like construction, if there's construction in your bike lane. There's always people parked in the bike lane too, so you can always kind of give it a little bit more throttle to get in the road to pass people so you don't hold up traffic. You don't have to worry about anyone hitting you. You just gotta be a little bit careful with this power, boy. This is a lot of power, and you would never think this bike has this much power. If a cop saw you on this bike actually going 28 miles an hour, staying under the speed limit of your city, I don't think they would know anything about this bike. They would just think it's a typical mountain bike and let you go. And honestly, if you really wanted to, if you come to a complete stop and if they don't catch you doing 50 miles an hour on this thing, you can put it into class 2 e-bike mode really quickly through the settings. One thing I did want to let you guys know is that if you do let go of the front end, now I'm not trying to wreck here, maybe I got to be going a little bit faster, but if you let off of the front end, it definitely has a wobble to it. So I would definitely keep both hands on this bike at all time. It's not doing it right now, but I did it earlier at over 40 miles an hour and it started shaking very violently. So just be a little careful on that. Let's show you guys the torque real quick. 1, 2, 3. Woo! That feeling will never get old. That is fast, man. I like this thing. All right, so let's do the braking test, the best I can do at about 28 miles an hour. This bike is so fast. All right, so about 27, all right? Ooh, brakes felt really, oh my God, that's how fast we stopped? No way. No way. Dude, this thing stopped on a dime. We're only like a bike and a half away from that. I know the camera is probably really wide and it's probably showing a little different story, but I'm telling you, we're right next to this fire hydrant. I am like 12 steps away from this thing. That's crazy. We're gonna do it one more time, trying to hold 27, 28 as best as possible. Whoa. Oh yeah, no, these are some really good brakes. I think we were pushing about 28 that time. I think the last time was like 27 miles an hour, but no, this thing stops on a dime. The only thing I did notice about mine, and maybe you guys can hear it, mine has some really nasty grinding noise, and I haven't even went off road yet, so I know there's nothing in the brake pads or anything like that, but definitely making some nasty noises up front. Ew. All right, so let's take this thing off road real quick. I think it's gonna be pretty bumpy just because I got these tires aired up. Oh yeah, I can hear the chain slapping and everything back there. Now this bike has a bunch of adjustability on that rear shock. I can take a little bit of air out, which I definitely feel it needs a little bit of air taken out because I have lost a little bit of weight. I'm 155 pounds now, and I feel like it's just too stiff for my weight on here, but it's all adjustable, guys. So even if it feels rough right now, I can always dial it in day after day and get that thing dialed in to how it fits me like a lot better riding comfortably. I gotta say, I'm loving these tires too. This is perfect for off-roading. They're a dual sport, so you can be on the road. They don't make any noise on the road whatsoever either. And on here, it feels like they grip up really good. I ain't having any issues. So here's the part I'm excited for. This is the hill test, and I bet you this thing is gonna climb this thing so fast. So let's see how it does. If it's over 17 miles an hour, it's on the faster side of e-bikes. If it's over 20, it's on the really fast side of e-bikes. I don't know, I'm really curious to see where it's gonna be. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Got a little bit of sand to go through. Holy crap, holy crap. Oh my God, we're jamming. Oh, we're jamming. Oh my God, I gotta let off. I gotta let off. Whoa, 24 miles an hour. Holy shit. Oh my God, sorry for cussing, but wow. Oh my God. Whoa. Dude, 24 miles an hour coming up this thing. This bike has torque for days. It kind of scared me coming up this thing, but you know what? I said, YOLO, let's just go, hold the throttle and see what happens. But it was taking me all over the place. It was just climbing. You know what's funny is if you actually hit the bike right now, and I'm not going to be able to record this because I don't have an extra camera, but it actually does start pilling out when you hit it. If you see if you can listen to it. The back loses traction. Even at 10 miles an hour, you can feel it. Like, dang. Very torquey e-bike. I gotta say, I'm trying to think of bikes to compare this to, and I guess I could say the Aerial Rider Grizzly, that 72 volt that just came out. Obviously that has a higher top speed. I think that bike was more geared for top speed, whereas I feel like this is geared for low end torque. I think this thing actually takes off faster than the Aerial Rider Grizzly, but doesn't hit that high top speed that the Grizzly hits. This is just exhilarating. Like the torque on this thing, it's so fun. Whoa. Oh, we gotta be careful with this thing. You can just feel it. Like when I hit it, I can just feel myself like fall back and I gotta hold on to the handlebars. That's how much power this thing has. It's so impressive. But what's not really impressive is we're already down to 86% battery. I don't really feel like that's really great for about almost 6 miles. I mean, yeah, I'm using most of the power, so I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. I mean, 6% for about 15%. I mean, I guess that's not terrible, right? But it does feel like it is going faster than I would like it to, but I don't know. There's no way to see voltage that I know of. I would like to see voltage. And here's our bridge test right here. Check this thing out. This bike is so tall. Normally my bikes are right here, and then someone like the Yasma or the Valtenzu EM5, they're like normally down here, roughly. So this just tells you how big this bike is in the handlebars. You can always change these handlebars out very easily, but I do like these handlebars because look at all the room you have. If I want to put extra lights up here, I can. If I want to put my phone somewhere down here, I can, or I put my phone over here. You have a lot of room for accessories on these handlebars. Whoa! Oh! Man, we went from cement and then we hit the dirt, which is kind of like gravel-ish, and it started peeling out as soon as we hit the dirt. I'm gonna go around that. I don't want to get wet over here. Hopefully I didn't run over any thorns though, but we do have some really good tires on this thing, so I don't think a thorn is gonna make these things flat. You definitely gotta run over something big to get a flat in these. No! No! All right, so let's ride this from the street to the curb. Woo, okay, a little bouncy, but like I said, we can adjust the suspension to get it kind of dialed in, because right now it does feel pretty rock solid. Definitely got to air these tires down for sure. All right, so let's drop down to here because I want to see how well it does coming up here. I think it's going to do great, but I'm worried about it pilling out. This has defeated a lot of bikes. Here we go. Oh no, I'm just playing with the throttle. That was like 10% throttle. And look, we gone, baby. You're in San Francisco or like LA with the biggest hill you ever got to climb. This thing will go up it no problem whatsoever. Woo! Get that wind going through the helmet. Oh, feels so good. Now you guys might be pleasantly surprised to know that this bike actually turns very well. There's no issue with turning on this bike. And what I really like a lot about this bike is check out the turning radius on this thing. It goes pretty much all the way around in a circle. The only reason why it doesn't is because its headlight hits right here. But the turning is so great on this bike. I absolutely love it. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to check out the pedal response and I want to check out the throttle response. Now here's the pedal response. I haven't even tried the pedals yet. So here we go. Okay. Woo. Oh, damn. Oh, okay. Definitely a torque sensor. See, because I can tell we're slowing down right now. Watch if I pedal a little bit harder. Oh yeah, dang, then this thing comes alive, man, okay. So if you like pedaling a bike and you want it to be responsive based on how you pedal, you're gonna love this bike. But if you don't like torque sensor bikes, we can come in here and we can change it to a cadence sensor, which means as soon as we rotate the pedals, it's just gonna give us all the power possible. But before we do that, I was showing you how fast the pedals respond, and here we go. And they are like half a second delay, if that. They are really responsive. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Woo, power, dude. And a lot of power at that. Yeah, these pedals are very, very responsive. Now, the throttle response is also very quick. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Woo! And that power comes on, boy. So let's do that one more time, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Now I have noticed it kind of fluctuate from a half a second to a full second delay on the throttle. I think it really depends on the speed you're going when you do hit the throttle. So just keep that in mind. It's not always the same every time I pull it. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. See, that took a little bit longer that time. That took about a full second for it to give me the power after pulling it. But when I'm going faster like I am right now, let's do this one more time. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Yep, and it's like instant almost. Maybe a quarter of a second, it's gone. Whoa, whoa, birdie, whoa. Got a little close there. So I'm gonna change this to a cadence sensor right now because I just wanna see how that feels. But we might have to go back to torque sensor mode because this bike is so fast. In cadence sensor, if you barely move the pedals, it's gonna give you a lot of power. So let's switch it to cadence right there and let's exit. Let's see how this feels. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Oh, see, look, I'm barely moving the pedals, barely moving them. And we're gonna go all the way up to 50 miles an hour. That's insane. That is insane. This bike is so fast. It's so impressive. Woo, man, adrenaline rush for sure. Now let's check out these gears. I haven't really went through these yet. We've been in gear 4 the whole time, so let's pedal. Let's go up a little bit. Let's go up to 7. And I'm still, no, I'm not connected. I'm not connected. Let's try that one more time really quick. So I'm connected, I'm connected, I'm connected, and I'm not really connected anymore. I'd say like 36 miles an hour roughly. That's still pretty up there. I haven't had many bikes that after 25 miles an hour, you can actually feel connected to the bike. So that's pretty good, I gotta say, but it's definitely not gonna pedal all the way up to 50 miles an hour with you actually feeling the resistance of the pedals. Now, just for my safety, I'm gonna put it back into torque sensor mode just in case I accidentally hit these pedals while coming to a stop. You guys gotta believe me on how like powerful this bike is. You can also do the sensitivity in here too if you want, so you can kind of mess with those settings, which I like. I'm not gonna mess with it, I'm just gonna leave it on 3. And so far right now, guys, we have 8.5 miles on this bike and we're just under 80%. It's probably gonna go to like 78% right now. Actually, I think that's pretty good. I was a little worried at first, but I think we're doing all right. Go off-roading a little bit more. Man, we gotta definitely air these tires down if we wanna come off-roading to be a little safer, but man, This thing will jam through here. Woo! Yeah, I like this thing. I really like it. I don't know why I have not rode one of these bikes before. This is just way too fun. And the power I'm getting out of the bike right now is right under 4,400 watts, the same that I saw earlier when we had 100% battery. And I can stay in the road. I actually don't even have to be in the bike lane if I didn't want right now, because I'm going fast enough for the road. I mean, maybe someone could be jamming doing 55, but no one should be going that fast, but a lot of people do speed. Now, it's crazy to think that I went maybe not even a half a mile and we went from 79% to 76%, and that was under full throttle. So when you definitely use all the power of this bike, the battery goes quick. But is it fun doing it? Oh yes, I definitely recommend it. Holding the throttle pinned out is fun as heck. Like, we're jamming out here. If I hit a bump, I might fly off the bike, I don't know. But it feels really good. The quality on this bike is really good. The grips feel really good. I didn't even have to wear gloves, which I do suggest you wear gloves, but I wanted to get a feel of the grips with my actual hands. I like the brakes. Not a big fan of what's going on with the front making all that noise. Maybe I just need to unloosen it and then hold the brake lever and realign it, because it's making a lot of noise up there. The tires are great for off-roading, no issues with that. Suspension does come stiff out of the box, so you definitely want to adjust it to your weight limit. If you were a lighter rider, I'd probably say like under 220 pounds. But if you're over, like, I'd say 250, I feel like it might be set up for you pretty good out of the box. And the power is just amazing. Like, I've never felt a mountain bike style bike like this with this much power. 72 volts is just, it's the way to go. Like, you don't need to always use 72 volts. You don't need to use the full throttle all the time. I can actually disable the throttle if I want right now, and it won't even work. Let's see how it works with the pedals if you disable that. Okay. Yeah, the pedals are still gonna bring you up though to max speed. And I think we got a flat. No way. No! No! Oh my. Dang, it's been a while since I have gotten a flat on one of these bikes when doing a video review. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Well, that's gonna do it, guys. But I gotta say, if you guys really do want to buy one of these bikes, wow, do I recommend it. I mean, it is so nice. I'll have links, discount codes down below. It's gonna save you guys probably roughly about $100 off this bike. Never pay full price for it, all right? The range is something I really want to get into, so hopefully we can do a second video. Maybe I can put some slime in here or fix this somehow, so, you know, we can continue the range test. Because right now, we have exactly 10.1 miles on it and 75% battery. And I believe this is running both of them. I wish it showed both the batteries, though, like somewhere on here, so I could see exactly the percentage of each one. But I don't know if there's a way to do that or not. But badass bike, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Wow, why'd I have to be all the way in this field where I'm not actually supposed to be? So I got to walk it all the way back home. All right, this is a journey for me alone. I'll see you guys. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. These tires are pretty thick, but if you get something like that right in the middle, I mean, this is just a big piece of wood that went right directly in the middle, and it won't even come out by trying to get my hand out, like just to bend it out of the way. So we're gonna have to pull that with pliers or something, get this thing aired up with slime, and hopefully we'll be back in the way. I can't even sit it upright because the tire is so flat. The kickstand won't let it sit up. If you guys can hear me, it's been a fun day. I got about 10 miles on this bike and got a rear flat. So we put a little patch in it. Then we got the flat out in it. And hopefully that'll fix it, because I still got to do the night riding footage. I had the tire up to about 28 PSI. We're going to put it at 24 because these tires are pretty rock solid, almost at 30 PSI, which I'm actually go up to. So I want to keep riding this bike. 72 volt on this bike is absolutely fun.